Why do women get bored when everything is good in a relationship? To answer this question briefly, there is a problem you don't know about or haven't realized. To make it clearer, let me draw an analogy. When an infection enters a human body, it doesn't immediately reveal its presence. The infection can be in the body in a latent form, showing no symptoms. Or the person might ignore the symptoms of the illness, thinking they are fine. Only when everything turns really bad does he realize something is wrong with his body and goes to the doctor. Similarly, people come to me, a family psychologist, when things are bad. And I explain to my clients that women get bored in relationships not when everything is good, but when there is some problem you're unaware of, or this problem is in its latent phase. So today, I'll talk about 3 reasons why some men think everything is fine in their relationships, even though it's not, and how to identify the problem. First reason. You have accumulated many problems in your relationship. Everything is bad, but you don't want to understand it. When interacting with your woman, you make serious mistakes but don't want to notice them. In other words, you live in your reality. Example. A man meets a girl he likes, falls in love with her. With sincere intentions, he begins to spend all his free time with her, courting her, taking care of her, not forgetting to talk about his strong feelings. He thinks everything is good, that this is how one should behave around a loved one. But gradually, the woman starts to feel sick from such vanilla behavior, and she loses interest in the love-struck Romeo. Another example. A man meets a girl he likes, and they start a relationship. He thinks, everything is good, we're together, and switches to money-making mode. He believes that's how it should be. He provides for his family and creates a safety cushion, not realizing that relationships are not only about money but also about the emotional connection between partners, which disappears when the man is always at work. Second reason. The woman gets bored in the relationship because she is a fellow traveler. She is with the man as long as there is some interest. Women fellow travelers can be divided into 2 conditional groups. The first group is emotion consumers. It's no secret that the peak of positive emotions in any couple occurs at the beginning of the relationship, when people are just getting to know each other. This period is filled with romance, passion, novelty. Then comes the period of routine. Routine looks different for every couple. Some always stay at home. And if they go out, they visit the same places. Some start to argue more often. In most couples, intimacy decreases over time, and all the romance gradually fades away. This brings us to a question I often get asked in consultations. Why do you need to have quality intimacy with a woman so she doesn't fall out of love with you? It's not about intimacy, it's about the emotions that should be in your relationship, so that you go out together, have romantic dates, communicate with each other. And intimacy is just the cherry on top. Yes, you should not act as a clown, and the woman should also organize your leisure. But I'm talking about something else. Routine kills relationships. But returning to women who are emotion consumers, such a trick won't work with them. They are interested in novelty. Such a woman, when interacting with a new man, gets a dose of happiness hormones, a dose of positive emotions. In other words, she enjoys the cream. And then she loses interest. Identifying such a person is very simple. She has many relationships lasting up to a year behind her. And it doesn't matter what she says about the reasons for the breakup. She simply loses interest in her partner. And nothing can be done about it. The most you can do is delay the moment of your breakup by surprises, gifts, and beautiful courtship. But you will break up anyway. The second group of fellow travelers is the pragmatic woman. She will be with you as long as it is beneficial for her. As you can guess, she is guided by some benefit in a relationship. Either it's material support from your side, or help in climbing the career ladder. Maybe she uses you as a sperm donor. Or she simply finds it convenient because she doesn't have her own housing, and she can live in your house without denying herself anything. If you remove this benefit, you will definitely break up. This is the main sign by which you can identify such a pragmatic person. Breakups with women fellow travelers are the hardest because you invest a lot in her before the breakup, both materially and emotionally. That's why I don't recommend investing a lot in a woman in the early stages of a relationship. I don't recommend making her the center of your world. Make sure you are interesting to her as a person. And remember, she will fully reveal herself when the candy bouquet period ends. That's when she will show herself in all her glory. And how to quickly understand what a woman is hiding from you and how to predict what awaits you in a relationship with her in the future, I talked about in the issue called What to Ask a Girl on a Date. 15 Best Questions. Third reason. Her requests change. Everything might indeed be good in your relationship. But one day she gets a new job, There, she starts to socialize with colleagues' party girls. These colleagues introduce her to a new life, where there are parties, and rich men. And your woman dives into a new world where there is no place for your relationship. Or she subscribes to some psychology guru who helps her reveal her true desires, not related to you. And the woman starts to live for herself, which also leads to a crisis in your relationship and a subsequent breakup. What's the problem? When you met the woman, she had some unresolved issues from childhood. She had hidden desires, which were in a latent form at the beginning of the relationship. For example, her parents suppressed her, lowered her self-esteem. As a result, she got used to being a gray mouse, but deep down, she always wanted to be a star, so that other people would envy her. At one fine moment, she revealed herself and showed her true nature. You can identify such a woman by only one sign. Despite her modesty, she always strives to stand out. She dresses brightly, posts photos of herself in her best outfits on social networks. At the same time, she is not independent and is highly dependent on public opinion. She is used to being behind someone, not in front of someone. She was dependent on her parents, then she entered into a relationship with you, where you were the leader, and then she found another authority, some friend, or a so-called psychology guru from the internet. And your value as a leader for her became minimal. Surely you are now thinking that you can never relax in a relationship. You can relax, but you also need to think sometimes. And if we return to the example I gave at the beginning of the article, where I talked about an infection that can be in the body in a latent form. To detect this infection, you don't need to rack your brains day and night. Is everything okay with your health? You just need to have a checkup of your body once a year. And if the examination reveals some problems, then only then deal with their solution. Similarly, in a relationship, conduct checkups of arising problems once a month. But you don't need to think about it all the time. Otherwise, you'll go crazy. I believe you'll succeed. In conclusion, I'd be grateful if you support this article with a like, subscribe to the channel, enable all notifications, write a few words in the comments on the topic of the article, and now move on to reading other articles on my channel. Bye.